Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. All praises be due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. I'm coming here as Kalim L to represent Islam. And I'm going to put forward the view that there are various scientific miracles inside of the Quran. And that is what I'm personally going to purport. Sarah, what are you saying? You infidel.
First of all, yeah, I'd want to know what the apparent scientific miracle is and what the actual scientific consensus is as to how accurate this apparent scientific miracle in the Quran is. That's what I'd have to go with it, because I remember Gary having a conversation with a Muslim personally, and I watched it, and they were talking about the sperm between the backbone and the rib, something along those lines, and it didn't make any sense to me, but apparently it was a scientific miracle. So I'd actually question the scientific miracles in the Quran and see how accurate they were.
All right, so you know what? I've actually got a nice propagation tool, which is a book to do with the scientific miracles inside of the Quran. I know I had it here somewhere. Unfortunately, I can't see it right now. But the Quran boasts the claim that it has various scientific miracles in the Quran, such as embryology, such as mountains being pegs, and such as the the sperm and so forth coming from between the backbone and the ribs. So we can get into something like that.
In the last show that I did with you, there was a sheikh that came on, and I said to him that the Quran says the earth is flat, and he said to me it doesn't, and I read him the verse, and there were at least 3-4 verses where it says the earth is laid out flat like a carpet. So then I'd want to know how you can claim a scientific miracle but then say the earth is flat. That's what I'd want to know personally.
Well, you see, brother, you see what the problem is. Most Muslims and even most people who are reading these verses don't actually understand the meticulous and the intricacy of the Arabic language, okay? And when it says that the earth is flat, okay, it is not actually talking about the world that we know as the earth, okay? They're actually talking about the actual ground that we see and that we stand on, and it definitely is 100% flat, okay? It is 100% the earth, the ard, is 100% flat, okay? The landmass is flat. There's no doubt about that. What you're talking about now is the world, okay? The world. And as scientists say, the world is spherical. And inside of the Quran itself, it talks about the earth is like a duhaha. A duhaha, is literally, if you're skilled in the Arabic language, you know that a duhaha
It's an ostrich egg.
It's an ostrich egg. Okay, and when you look at the ostrich egg, it's very much so spherical, and it's even stated to be geospherical. So therefore, it's due to misinterpretations and misunderstanding of the Quran and of the Arabic language itself that people believe to say that the earth is flat. It's an ostrich egg. Okay, and when you look at brother, could you please mute your mic?
Yes.
Keep your mic muted because there is some serious therefore feedback on your end. Thank you. So yes, my brother. That as a Muslim, that is what my response is to you on that one.
Would that show a contradiction?
Would it show contradiction? You see, within inside of the Quran itself, there is literally no contradiction at all. There may be contradistinctions. Okay, that's one thing you have to get in place. There may be contradistinctions, but there is no contradictions. What I mean by that is there are certain things within inside of the Quran, okay, that gives further depth and meaning. Okay, so one minute it may say that the Earth is flat, which is talking about the actual landmass, but then it also talks about the Earth being like an ostrich egg, meaning the world being like an ostrich egg. Obviously, there's certain parts of the ostrich egg which is completely flat. That is the surface that we would walk on, meaning the landmass is the Earth. But there is no contradictions in the Quran, not at all. No, no. Astaghfirullah.
That's interesting because even though the Earth may seem flat to us, if it's spherical, then it's always spherical. No.
Indeed.
So then, the Earth is never flat, is it?
Well, my brother. Like when you go outside and you walk on the grass, okay, you don't, the grass isn't spherical, is it? No, it's not. It's not, my brother. Clearly, it's the landmass is flat.
It seems flat.
Mm.
It seems it. However, if the Earth is round, there's no flat parts of a circle, is there?
No.
So then the Earth just seems flat to you. No?
Indeed, it seems flat. It seems flat.
Okay, so it is never flat. It's either always a circle or it's flat.
True, true.
So it can seem flat, even though it's still a circle. So
True.
why would you say it's flat?
See, brother, I don't think you're getting me, brother. I don't think you're getting me. What I would like to do right now is actually invite some more of my Muslim brothers who could properly clarify and explain this to my brother Sarah right now. Because unfortunately, me, I'm a baby Muslim still. I'm still a baby Muslim. I'm still going masjid. I'm still trying to learn the Quran. I'm still trying to educate myself. It's not been long enough. I don't have enough skills. I'll have to defer to a sheikh or an imam or somebody who is much more wiser than myself. So what I will do right now is actually defer to a Muslim brother to please inbox me, Kalam, via Facebook. Okay, via Facebook, inbox me right now. Let me see your requests. Inbox me right now so I can get you here live on air with my brother Sarah, and you lot can clear up any mistakes or misinterpretations or misrepresentations of the teachings of Islam as taught by the Quran. Okay, this is what I would love for you guys to come in and do. You've got the opportunity to come and do this. I've given you lot the information previously. I've sent you all privately all the messages and the links already for those people who asked earlier on. So please come on and represent your faith. Whilst we're here, I would also like to introduce my brother, the Nine Ether Boys. Let me get my brother in, man. Peace, King, all the way from North London. What are you saying?
Peace, family.
Peace.
What's going on?
There you are. Yeah, my brother. I see you. I see you, man. I see you.
Finally. We say Sarah, big up. Big up.
Peace.
Yeah, man. We still got to talk, innit?
We still have got to talk, bro.
Yeah. But I'm here. I just wanted to let the people know, obviously, I was previously in the school of Dr. Malachi Z. York as a student, master student, but now I've graduated, couple years standing now. So we elevated to different levels of the affirmation and information, and just correlate it with whatever's going on in now time. So a lot of these debates I find interesting because as an Nuwapian, well, I would say it's just a title, really, to be honest. Do you get what I'm saying? But we overstand a lot of these schools of thought, and we have to submerge ourselves in Islam. We were Hebrews, Islamic Hebrews. We went through the different stages. Do you get what I'm saying? So we understand the different thing. But I feel that in my own country, Do you get what I'm saying? Of England, because I deal with mainly the US brothers and sisters. So we have our debates going back and forths, and you know, we have a few. We're having a division at the moment between Nuwapians and Nuwabians, which I don't obviously understand. But really, we have an doctrinal differences when it comes to some of the information that's being put out recently. So that's where I stand with the brothers from the US. But over here, I ain't been Speaker's Corner in a long while still. But I've been watching Titan TV hard. I ain't lying. And brother Sarah is a superstar. Yeah, brother Sarah is a superstar. Him and the other brother with the laptop. I like him too, man. He's hard.
I like Gary.
Yeah, brother Gary's hard. Brother Gary's hard as well. You get what I'm saying? And we're all students of the same mind in a sense. Do you get what I'm saying? So yeah, obviously I'm here to represent HTM, which is Holy Tabernacle Ministries, and I'm the Department of Correction. So I'm here to correct people's status, religion, whatever they or ever misnomers they're going under, and any type of pseudoisms. Do you get what I'm saying? Because we just deal with the facts beyond all reasonable doubt, and that's it.
I love that. Finally, we've got a Nawapian brother over here in the UK representing for Nawapianism, Dr. Malachi Z. York, Pa Pa Pa
No.
Bab Yanun,
Whoa.
etc. etc. So it's good to have my brother in. I'll greet you with the greetings of the Nawapians and say Rahubat.
Rahubat, brother. Rahubat, bro.
Rahubat. All right. Yes, Senna. Excellent. I love that. I love that. And also, we've got my Somali Muslim brother in the building. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. As I'm a Muslim today.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon all of you guys.
Love that. Then we've got also my brother. I don't even know what your proper name is. So I'm going to greet you and, introduce yourself, King.
Hey, peace to Titans TV. This is like an honor for me. Peace to the chat. Peace to the panel. My name is T Duck 415. I come out of the West Coast, and I want y'all to experience true consciousness as it is, rather than deal with that stuff y'all get on the East Coast and the HOK. How we do things on the West Coast, it's a little bit more intense, a little bit more militant, and a lot more people-based. So the religions we do deal with are Islam and Christianity, and we steer away from those movements. Like, I mean, we do have the Nation of Islam, but that's pretty much it.
Right. All right. I love this. I love this. We've got a very broad range of individuals on here. From Muslims to Kemetics to Nawapianism. Everything is represented. Consciousness, but everything represented here today. So this is going to be excellent. I think I got a feeling it's going to be a wonderful and excellent conversation that's going to take place today. Unfortunately, my setup ain't right, but we're gonna persevere regardless. For everybody who's tuned in right now, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you support us over here at Titans TV. Let us know that you're supporting your Muslim brothers, you're supporting your Kemetic brothers, your Nawapian brothers, whoever you're here to support. Give us your big thumbs up. Let us know that you're here for supporting reasons and not for hating reasons. Okay, we want supporters over here. All right, that's perfect. I mean, that being said, let me just lay it out for you guys from the birth. Okay. We have 3 rules over here at Talk with the Titans. Rule number 1, okay, is to keep your mics muted at all times. Rule number 2, okay, is to respect another person's cipher, especially our Titans. Today, everybody here is a Titan, okay? So we respect each other. Keep your mics muted. Do not talk over each other. And when it's time for you to talk, your mics will then be unmuted. Just give me a signal. Let me know you want to talk, and we'll get you up talking. Rule number 3 is please no profanity and no ad hominem attacks. Okay, I don't want to hear no ad hominem attacks. I don't want to hear nobody, dissing anybody's mothers or talking bad about each other, nothing like that, or even swearing. It's a family-friendly show. We literally have these shows running in barbershops, with your aunties and uncles sitting down in the living room, all sorts going on. Children watch these shows. So please, let's keep our profanity to absolute minimum. Zilch, nada, nothing. Okay. That being said, I actually want to get it in, man. I want to get in. I want to get things started. We've had a nice little delay. I want to know, what's the very first topic that you guys would like to discuss? Are we going into the Quran and the scientific miracles, or are we going to have a nice open free for all? You guys let me know right now in the panel, and I'm going to check the comment sections. I want to know what my comment section is saying, what type of audience members is here. So let me know who you're representing in the comment section and what you want to hear being discussed. Just throw out some questions and we'll get them floating amongst the brothers. So what are you saying, Kings? Like, you let us know. I'm just going to be in the comment section right now. What are we discussing? Right. Everybody's just keeping their mics muted. This is the time where everybody can talk,
Oh, I think we always should start, if I may, my brother. I think it always starts with 2 Peter's chapter 1, verses 4 through 7. I think that's how you should begin and end everything, in my opinion. With
Read it
that
out,
law.
brother. Read it out.
Oh, my bad. I ain't got it in front of me. Hold on. I'll pull it up.
So we're starting in the spirit of the Bible, it seems.
Hey, listen, the Bible's got some gems in there, King.
It has,
The Bible's got some gems.
It really has. It really has.
Wow.
Listen, don't throw away the baby with the bathwater. Hey, you know what's so beautiful today? We actually started, or we opened up today actually with Queen of Four. We opened up with libations. We opened up with reading the Meta Nature. We opened up with saluting the ancestors. That's what we opened up with today.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a change of pace. It's going to be a change of pace. It's going to be a real change of pace because we're not being inclusive. We're welcoming everybody to come true.
Hey, and Chief, just so everybody know this, don't look at it as something from the Bible. Just look at it as real talk. You know what I'm saying? It applies. We got to get away from what book says what. We got to take the real from where, like Titan said, wherever it's at. What's real is what's real. Like, if you don't understand that, you missing something in life. Like, we got to get away from the, I don't know how to say it. I'll just read it though. All right. So 2 Peter 1, chapter 4 through 7. Whereby are given unto us exceeding great and precious promises, that by these ye might be partakers of the divine nature, having escaped the corruption that is in the world through lust. And beside this, given all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to your virtue knowledge, and to knowledge temperance, and to temperance patience, and to patience godliness, and to godliness brotherly kindness, and to brotherly kindness charity. That's it.
All right. Let's enter this with a spirit of brotherhood, learning, and appreciating each other. A little bit of beating up on each other. A little bit. What would life be without that? All right, my brother Ahmed. What I would love for you to do. Are you there, my brother?
Yes, my brother. I'm here. What's happening?
All right, cool. So, please introduce yourself to our audience members. For those of them who don't know who you are, I can't even see you. You're in the dark right now. But let everybody know who you are and how you've been represented here on Titans TV.
I'm in the car. I'm driving, guys. I do apologize if you can't see me. My name is Ahmed. I'm representing Islam.
All right. And have you been on Titans TV before? My brother, can you hear me? Have you been on Titans TV before? Maybe his thing is going out. So if he doesn't come back in, let me explain. For those of you who don't know, he's actually our Somali Muslim that was actually debating with Sarah. You can catch like the 3 parts on Titans TV right now. You know, the first one, I think it was to do with the age of consent with Aisha, the marriage of Aisha to the Prophet Muhammad. The second one was to do with what was it to do with? Something to do with in the cave. And the other one was to do with the universe and the start of the universe. So, you know what? Check out those videos, man. What you saying, Ahmed? You there?
I'm there, my brother. I'm there. Y'all can hear me, right?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, my brother, man. Thanks for introducing me. Like I said, I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion.
So I want to know, okay? This is one of my first questions that I need to ask you, okay? Are there scientific miracles in the Quran?
Well, I would say the Quran is the book of science, it's called. It's called the book of science. Some would say there are scientific miracles. I would not necessarily dispute that, but I would like to inform you guys that that basically the Quran is basically not a scientific book. So I don't plan to necessarily argue from that perspective, but I would say that it contains some scientific miracles that have only been discovered quite recently.
Okay, okay. So I like that. I like that. You're in the affirmative, and I want to know what exactly is a scientific miracle. It almost sounds as an oxymoron, to be honest with you. So what is a scientific miracle?
A scientific miracle is when a book contains basically something that is scientific that could not have been discovered at that point in time, simply due to the fact that you know, many things that people did not have at the time to come to the conclusions that they have come to.
Okay, excellent. And then when you say it's a miracle, are we saying that because nobody else could have possibly have known it, it must have come from God?
No, we are, well, yes, and the reason we're saying it's a miracle is basically there is no way that those particular scenarios could have been known or figured out at that time.
Excellent.
And therefore, we argue that only God could know.
All right. Okay. That's good. That's nice. That's nice. So what I'd like for you to do, is present. You know, I would love for you to just name 3 scientific miracles, but just one in depth afterwards. So just give us an overview of at least 3 scientific miracles that's listed inside of the Quran.
I'm sure the stages of birth of a child, basically the stages the child goes through in the womb, that is in the Quran in detail. And another one that I actually just found out today was basically the female spider makes a house, being the one that built a house. The fact that it's a female spider could not have been known 1400 years ago.
Okay. And the third one?
And the third one, I can't think of it right now on top of my head, but if you come around to me in a couple of minutes, I'm sure I will I'll bring that to you.
Okay, excellent. All right. So you know what I love doing here on Titans TV is providing the sources, providing the evidence that backs up you know, what we are talking about. So if anybody has those particular quotes dealing with number 1, okay, the stages that a fetus, a baby, an unborn child goes through in the womb, that's written about or talked about or discussed or presented in the Quran, please post it up with inside of the comment section. That's number 1. Number 2, if you know anything about the spider, okay, that's spoken about inside of the Quran, supposedly, female spider that only built houses, okay, you know, put that up. Number 2. Anyways, number 3 was to do with What was the third one again?
Well, I haven't presented a third one at the moment. I'm driving, the brain is a bit shut down, but in a couple of minutes I will bring the third one to you. And I do agree with you. Every claim has to be backed up, and I will try to do so with the best of my ability.
All right. So this is what I'm going to do now. What I'm going to do now is open up. I want to open up to my audience members right now. Okay. Audience members, please let me mute your mic, brother, because your mic is in numbers right about now. So please, I want to start with my brother 9ethers. Bro, why wasn't muting? I want to please let me know about the, what do you think? Is there scientific miracles in the Quran? Yes or no?
Well, first thing I wanted to say was, is that what they're calling a scientific miracle? Because I'm a bit confused. You know, I mean, people have been having children obviously since before the creation of the Quran. So since it's the last religious so-called text written, there's no doubt that it would be more advanced in its information compared to the Bible or the Torah. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, when they give information like the world being like a what was it? Is it not an egg, but a kind of egg? What was it, ostrich egg or something like that?
Yes, ostrich egg.
Correct. Yeah, I don't want to misquote. Yeah, but yeah, things like that. I mean, that's just scientific. That's just science, isn't it? That's just research and study. You know, I mean, if you agree that it's not a scientific book, then it can't have scientific miracles. If that's the fact, I mean, I could be wrong. You know, that's just my point of view. You know,
I want to know. I just want to get some yes or no's, some one-word answers from everybody.
Okay.
Is there scientific miracles inside of the Quran?
No.
All right. My brother Sarah, is there any scientific miracles inside of the Quran?
Hell no.
Oh man. T-Duck, is there any scientific miracles inside of the Quran? Brother T-Duck. All right, I'm going to skip you. And I want to know.
No.
Sorry? No. My brother's saying no. So we've got a Nawapian. We've got my brother. So we've got a Nawapian saying hell no. I mean, just saying no. We've got Sarah, my pantheism Kemetic brother, saying no. And then we've also got T-Duck that represents consciousness over in America. He's saying hell no. All right. So far, my Muslim, I want to know from, my Muslims then, okay? Like, do you agree with your brother, Ahmed, that there is some scientific miracles inside of the Quran? Let me know, okay? I also want to know from my broader community members, are there scientific miracles inside of the Quran? And we're going to go in a little while to pick and pluck out these claims to figure out whether there is a scientific miracle inside of the Quran. Islam says believe in the gospel of Jesus. I'm just reading out some comments right now. Somebody's saying lol spider. Somebody's saying why do you use science to prove your claim? Okay, cool. All right, so let's get into this then. Let's get into this. The very first claim then is what? That the Quran talks about the various different stages that a fetus goes through in forming to become a human being, I would suppose. If anybody, come on, my comment section, where's my Muslims at? My comment section, let me know where that particular claim is made inside of the Quran so we can read it out to the audience members and you guys can make up your mind yourselves. So I want to know, Brother Sarah, okay, is that a miraculous claim? Let's just say, Muhammad was a desert Arab, they claim. He was a desert Arab. He was an illiterate man that couldn't possibly know these things. So is that a scientific claim? Is that something miraculous?
Honestly speaking, I think at some point, human beings got to, cut the BS. I don't want to go on too much of a bit of a rant, but we've got to understand that different societies formed different sciences at different times. The science or the quote unquote miracles that these people are speaking about, if you go to the Nile Valley Africans already mapped out the stars. They already mapped out, sorry, they already built pyramids. They were already mathematicians. They were already the geniuses of the time. Okay, to map out the stars, you need a telescope. Okay, so they had apparatus to do all these things. What people keep doing is they keep saying, oh, no one at the time could have known these things. My friend, you don't know what anybody at that time knew or anybody before that time knew. And information is handed down from people to people. Now, you have to believe, as a follower of Muhammad, that all of this information came from this man called Muhammad. You can't believe that it came from outside information and that maybe being a Bedouin Arab, maybe being a traveler, he traveled upon other people and gained knowledge, or the people that he were around gained knowledge from people that were in and around that place. You can't believe that, you see, because that's not part of the story. However, we've got to go with what would be most plausible, because with all the quote unquote scientific miracles that they claim, they still can't prove God. And that's very interesting to me. Like, Muslims will claim science, but oh, we can prove this, we can prove that, but you can't prove God. So to me, I just think at some point, human beings got to cut the BS and just like basically see this for what it is.
All right. Thank you. That's interesting response. T-Duck, I'm going to go to you now. I want to hear your response.
Can you repeat the question?
So I want to know, you know what, the embryology, I believe it's called the embryology in the Quran, that it states that, you know, a fetus goes through various stages before forming into a baby or to be born. Is that a scientific miracle inside of the Quran?
I think it's a scientific fact, not a scientific miracle. To be honest, I think all theology is predicated on making men better rather than trying to be scientifical. I think that's just something we impose on it to give it more appeal, to market it better with our day and age. But we got to remember, like the brother just said, it was in a time where we don't really know. And maybe back then, all they were searching for were to become better people. But being science is big nowadays that we're trying to make it scientifical, which I think is very erroneous.
All right. Thank you. And I'm going to send that question over again to my brother Naifas. The Naifas, man. Manawapin. Where you at, King?
Yes, brother. You would have to agree that Muhammad even wrote the Quran. That's a big stumbling block. Secondly, I agree with the brother above brothers. In fact, it's kind of nonsensical. It's ridiculous. You get what I'm saying? Childbirth is something that is not religious. It's something that is, you know, part of nature. Do you get what I'm saying? We would have studied this way before any religious text or anything like that. Do you get what I'm saying? We have the concept of the universe being a womb, or, you know, I know some won't accept it. Do you get what I'm saying? But so all this and even the theory of an egg, and you know, and the yolk, and you know, we had these systems of theories of feminine and, you know, masculine thousands of years prior to the Quran. So these are, as the brother said, they're facts, but they're not new discoveries in the religious sense even. I just don't think that some of them are explained, because you know, things like if we go to the Bible and we say like the Immaculate Conception has to be explained. Do you get what I'm saying? So
Okay.
it's things like that. That is not that you're in the realms of science. You're in the realms of genetics. You're in the, you know. So when it's, some people say that, oh, why you need science in it? Well, that's what science is. Science is facts based on facts. We have to, you know, do the investigation, do the research, do the work, and then we come to a conclusion at the end. Do you get what I'm saying? But that's in a religious sense. In natural nature, this is nonsensical what we're talking about. You still have to be educated in the subject, but as a male, I mean, the Quran is not female orientated, so to be given, it would seem like a miracle. Do you get what I'm saying? If it's a masculine perspective that you're given with everything, the prophets are male, the creator is male, everyone's male, 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 and the only bit you can talk about is the embryo. You get what I'm saying? Which is not no miracle.
All right. All right. So what I'm going to do right now, let me share my screen furthermore, because I want to make sure I'm just to everybody and just to the argument. So what I'm going to do now is share my screen, which I already have. And I'm going to go now to Quran, to the Noble Quran. And I believe it is Surah 23, verse number 12 it starts from. Okay, so Al-Mu'minun. Okay, to the faithful right now. And certainly, did we create man from an extract of clay? Then we placed him as a sperm drop in a firm lodging. Then we made the sperm drop into a claying clot, and we made the clot into a lump, parenthesis, of flesh, and we made from the lump bones, and we covered the bones with flesh. Then we developed him into another creation. So blessed is Allah, the best of creators. And then let me just finish off. And then indeed, after that, you are to die. Then indeed, you on the day of resurrection will be resurrected. Okay, so this is the claim, I believe, my brother was speaking about inside of the Quran. That is a scientific, which is deemed a scientific miracle to our Muslim world and our Muslim audience. I don't want to speak on behalf of all Muslims. So I want to know, number one, there is a we right here that is creating man from an extract of clay. So I want to know, is that a scientific fact that humans came from an extract of clay? Did human beings come from an extract of clay scientifically? I want to know religiously right now, okay, because we can believe this all day long. We came from clay. But I want to know, is this a scientific fact, number one, that humans came from from clay or earth or a mixture of earth and water? Brother Sarah, go on, Sarah. You go first, and I'm going to go to my Muslim brother Ahmed.
What I can tell you is human beings coming from clay is a very old story of Khnum you can go to in Kemet, where he created man on a potter's wheel from clay. So that mythology, not science, that mythological story that human beings came from clay is not scientific. Okay, so you can't start off human creation from clay. Otherwise, I guess we would have the genetic composite or the atoms of clay within us. And as far as my knowledge, we don't. So come on, at some point we got to just call the BS. That's what I'm saying.
All right, my brother Ahmed. Okay, come on, man. You got the whole Muslim world cheering for you right now, and you need to make sense out of this for us, please. Brother Ahmed, you there? Okay, all right. My brother Ahmed is not there at present. So again, I'm gonna have to speak on behalf of my Muslims now. Okay, so I'm Muslim today. Well, brothers, the Quran definitely does state that we came from clay. We can take this from the spiritual aspect, or we can actually take this from the the real scientific aspect. From the spiritual aspect, I'm going to put it to you like this. I want to deposit this to you like this. Okay. Human beings are made up of 70% of. I want somebody else to answer this question. Human beings are made up of 70 to 80% of what exactly again?
Water.
Water. Excellent, excellent. And then the other 20%, my brothers, is coming from the matter, the physical realm, which symbolically is the earth. Okay. And when we're talking about the earth, yet again, we're talking about the mineral kingdom. And I'm pretty sure that we have a lot of minerals inside of our body. We have, nickel. We have, iron. We have gold. We have all these subtle amounts of minerals within inside of our body that makes us up who we are. So that is the earth aspect that is inside of us. I'm sure you can go to any scientific journal and they will tell you that human beings, for a fully nutrient diet, nourishment or nutrient-based diet, they need all different types of minerals to be ingested. Even when you go and buy your food from Tesco's and Sainsbury's, it says that we're ingesting a certain amount of minerals. That minerals is symbolically the earth that is making up our physical body. Okay, that's my answer to that. But the science now, damn, you got me stumped on the science. Damn, how we made from earth. Damn, you're stumping me. And you know what? I think I need my Muslim brothers to help me out on this. Muslim brother, Ahmed, are you there? Because I'm talking on the
Yeah, I'm here,
spiritual, the
brother.
symbolic level,
I'm here
and,
now.
and I'm
I'm here
stumped
now
because
with
I'm not
with
answering on
lights and
this.
everything now.
I'm not even answering on the scientific level. I don't know how I can answer on the scientific level. So you need to help me.
Sorry, I missed quite a few, but I heard a few disagreements with whether there's scientific miracles in the Quran. I'd like to say for those that disagree whether there's scientific miracles in the Quran, they would have to give us a criteria of what a scientific miracle is. What will they accept?
So before we even ask for a scientific cat, well, the scientific, to be honest with you, is using the scientific method, which gives us a scientific, that gives us the science aspect of it. Whether it's miraculous or not, you gave us the definition of why it's miraculous, as in the fact that nobody else in society knew this, and this information obviously could only have come from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah or God or whichever deity that somebody would like to praise. It can only come from that source itself. So, so is this a scientific claim that human beings came from clay or came from the earth? Is that a scientific claim? Does science make that claim?
I'll have to be honest with you. I'm not sure about that. I'm not
All
sure
right.
whether I'm not sure whether science makes that claim. However, I have heard that much of the minerals found in clay are also found in man.
Excellent. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for that honest answer. So my Muslim world out there, I want to know, okay, I'm putting this out to you. You lot could answer in the comment section. Make sure you answer in the comment section, okay? Because you need to help me out. I'm your Muslim brother. I need your help. Ahmed is your Muslim brother as well. He needs your support rather than your help. I need your help, yeah? He needs just your support. So please, if you got any quotes inside of the Quran or the quotes inside of scientific journals that back up the fact that human beings actually came from extract of clay, please present it, because we've been making this claim as Muslims for 10, 20, 30 years now, that there's scientific miracles in the Quran. I've quoted from Surah Al-Mu'minun, the 23rd chapter or the 23rd surah in the Quran, ayah verse 12. And I'm going to continue reading again. Okay, so please help us, back us up. That says in the Quran, and certainly did we create man from an extract of clay. So I'm going to go on to this.
May I interrupt you there, brother?
Go ahead, King.
I would say that is an Islamic, a Jewish, and a Christian claim, and not just an Islamic one.
Indeed. It definitely is. Unfortunately, I don't know whether the Jews or the Christians claim that it is science. Okay, I don't know if they claim it's science. That's the only problem. It's only the Muslim world that claims it as a scientific claim and a scientific miracle. So that's the difference we're having at present.
I would have to add though that the Christians and the Jews would claim that the book came from God. So surely they would have no difficulty in claiming that it's a scientific claim neither then.
Probably, I don't know, because I know, for example, as Brother Sarah has already explained, in Kemet, they have a deity called Khnum, okay? And he was the potter, the molder, that molded man from the dust of the earth, the clay, and you see human beings going around the potter's wheel, and he breathes, or there's a separate deity that breathes the breath of life into mankind or man, whoever he's molding. But everybody from the Kemetic perspective takes it as a mythology to tell a higher truth or a greater mystery. So they don't see that as literal, they see it more as symbolic and as an allegory. So I don't know whether the Christians or the Jews see it the same way as it being symbolic or allegorical. or metaphorical, but that is a very good question. We should ask them later on. But unfortunately, we're talking about scientific claims in the Quran, so we won't divert to them at present. So the next section, it says over here, I'm going to read again. So this is chapter 23, verse 13 now. So now it says, then we placed him as a sperm drop in a firm lodging. Okay. Is that a scientific claim? Is that a scientific claim? Who wants to open up the mic first? Okay, I'll read it.
As a Muslim, I would proudly say that everything that is in the Quran, we would not claim that anything is allegorical. We would claim that every word is from God, and therefore every word is truth and scientific. I have no problem saying that.
Wow, wow, that's a big claim. That's a big claim. I don't know whether all Muslims would agree with that claim. But you know, as far as your teachings are concerned, that's the claim. So I want to know. Then we placed him as a sperm drop in a firm lodging. Okay. Then it continues to say, then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot. Okay. So I want to know. Okay. You know, does sperm now change, metamorphosize, evolve? What other nice words I can use to represent change? Does it change now into a clot? And I believe that the clot or clinging clot is a blood. Does sperm drop now change into a clinging clot?
It is very basic science that the sperm finds an egg and the egg is fertilized. That's basic science. I did not see within that verse any fertilization process. It went straight from a clay to sperm being placed somewhere. That doesn't make sense to me at all whatsoever.
What is the firm lodging that is being placed at, Sarah? What is being placed at a firm lodging mean?
It said the sperm is being placed in a firm lodging.
What does that mean?
I don't know. Sounds very cryptic to me.
It means exactly what you said.
It means what, sorry?
Sounds like a hole.
It means exactly what.
How?
He's cutting. He's muted now.
I mean, I don't understand. If a sperm is being placed in a firm lodging, right?
Well, a lodging would be something like a hole, I think, maybe, in the clay.
I don't know. It's cryptic.
Yeah, it's a bit too much, you know.
And where things get vague, people seem to be able to slip in what it means.
Yeah.
You know, if it's actually not specific, then we can say, oh, that's what it meant.
Yeah, interpolation.
You know what I mean? Yeah, you can exactly. To me, that seems too convenient.
Yeah.
To be able to claim a scientific miracle when it's actually not very specific.
No, and it's funny because obviously both of us are from the school of Kemet, and I was in the ancient mystic order of Melchizedek, which is a Kemetan school, or the mother of all Kemetan schools. And exactly as you said, Sarah, with the Kalam and the Potter's Wheel, but the unfortunate thing for them, they don't have the text or the information, to go into detail. That is still very vague, and it's a scientific process going on, but they can't explain it. Do you get what I'm saying? So with the basic knowledge in the 1500s, you can say it like that. Yeah, we put it in a firm lodging because you didn't know the word petri dish, or you didn't. You got what I'm saying? So it's
or if it's an egg, you would have said egg.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand the vagueness.
Yeah.
For me, I think the vagueness is a way to, you know, if I say, oh yeah, I live in London in the Eastern area, people can claim Hackney. But yeah, he meant Hackney.
Yeah.
But I wasn't actually specific though. I lived in the Eastern area. But if I'm vague,
it could have been barking.
It could have been barking.
So I got a question for you. Does does science necessitate specifics, or does science leave room for ambiguity?
Well, the problem is there's two schools of thought running at the same time. You see, someone is trying to explain science being used by the ancestors. Do you get what I'm saying? In a very vague manner. Do you get what I'm saying? Or a very religious manner. Do you get what I'm saying? Remember, these religious texts were not for the common person. Do you get what I'm saying? The imam and those in the religious schools would have had to study, putting sperm in a firm, that type of information. It wouldn't have been to your local goat herder, do you get what I'm saying, who would have had no knowledge of that information. But the only problem with the Quran where it falls short is you are the third edition of this one text. Do you get what I'm saying? However they want to beat around the bush and say, yeah, Christian and this and this. It's one text. Do you get what I'm saying? The Torah, the 5 books of Moses, is the first part of the Bible. Do you get what I'm saying? And if the Bible is not in the Quran, then I don't know what the Quran is. The only addition in the Quran is the trials and tribulations of Muhammad, peace be upon him. Do you get what I'm saying? So there's other texts and books that relate to Islam that say, like the Ratib, for example, which is the Quran, basically, or the Bible, should I say.
You know what, my brother, we don't want to go too deep. I know you got too much information to give, to offer. I know you do, but we don't want to go too deep. Let's keep it on track for them. I'm going to share the screen again, okay? So we've now moved on. Then we placed a sperm drop in a firm lodging, okay? Then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot, okay? This word here, clinging clot, is literally the alaq, which literally means clinging, leech, or means blood. Some people say it's blood. So I want to know, then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot. Is this a clinging blood clot? I don't know. So I want to know, does sperm drops change into clinging clots? And then the next question is, and we made the clot into a lump. They've got here parenthesis of flesh, but the actual word here is lump. So I want to know, does after a sperm drop, okay, goes from a sperm into a place somewhere that's firm, does that sperm now drop change into a clot of blood or something clinging? And then is that clot now turns into a lump and parenthesis flesh? Is that what happens in embryology? Can someone help me out? Let me know.
Hell no. And my point is, where did they get the sperm from?
Say that once more. Yo, brother, can you say that once more?
Yeah. I said, where did they get the sperm from? That's my question. Because you're doing all that process, but where did the sperm come from? Was it from something that was already existing? Was it Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala himself who, where did the sperm come from? Because they are talking about we, the word was used in the beginning. So somebody's doing something. So that's my question. Where did the sperm come from? Beside the clotting and, what you do with it, where did the actual sperm come from?
Sorry, is this describing the creation of the quote unquote first man? Or is this describing the creation of the people after the first man?
All right, let's defer that question over to my Muslim brother. Brother Ahmed, could you answer those questions?
Is the question, if I heard correctly as well, where did the sperm come from?
And is this the creation of the first man?
No. The creation of the first man is not has nothing to do with sperm. As you already know, it was created from clay, and then the spirit breathed into him. So no, it's not the first man. This is just the process of a fetus and how a baby is born. But the question asked of where did the sperm come from is completely different from what the Quran is talking about in this particular instance.
Okay. So did you answer who the we was?
We is referring to God Himself. It's a royal term for an individual. So it's referring to God. When you hear we, it's referring to God in the Quran.
Okay.
According to what definition?
According to what definition? Arabic.
Okay, and in Arabic, what's the word we? To I, to an individual. I mean, there's plural and there's singular, so.
There's plural and there's plural and there's singular, and there's also a royal singular, if you know what I mean. It's just like the Queen uses we when she's addressing a nation, but she's referring to herself.
Okay, that's another interpretation in a sense, because that's not necessarily true.
Well, to be honest with you, if you were to speak to a Hebrew-speaking person or an Arabic-speaking person, they will acknowledge that there is a royal we.
Well,
we is not always single or plural. There's also a royal term for we.
I mean, I understand where the we came from. The we means we. Or you could say us. You get what I'm saying? I know where it came from. I understand where it came from. I just wanted to know your interpretation of it. You get what I'm saying? Because it is an interpretation. I mean, if we go Oxford Dictionary, we doesn't mean singular or royal singular. So, you know, these, and in Arabic too, I'm not really quite sure. I mean, you'd have to give me the word in Arabic. Do you get what I'm saying? You'd have to give me the word we in Arabic to make me understand, and then give me the singular of that we, like they do in Hebrew with Elohim or Elo. Do you get what I'm saying? And we know the yod and the yim means plural. The yim is plural. So, you know, I want to know if that we in its entire word, do you get what I'm saying, is a plural word or a, you know, or singular. Not to be funny or anything. I'm just, you know, I'm just.
No, I totally understand what you're saying. I'll be honest, proficient in Arabic. However, I haven't heard anyone having an issue with that translation that is referred to a royal we in the Quran. It's the first time I'm hearing this argument, to be honest.
I understand. No problem. You can read on, Kalam. So.
All right, let's get it in. So I'm going to go back into the text yet again. Okay, we're going back into the text. That's the best thing that we can always do. Go straight to the source. Now it says here, then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot, and we made the clot into a lump, parenthesis flesh, and we made from the lumps bones, and we covered the bones with flesh. Then we developed him into another creation. So it now goes in from a clot turning into a lump of flesh, and that lump turning into bones, and then the bones was then covered with flesh. So I want to know, is this what takes place? Is this what takes place?
To my knowledge, I was taught it was a simultaneous action, that both the flesh and the bone are, they both, what's the word I'm looking for? They are both produced simultaneously. They grow simultaneously. From my knowledge, I could be wrong though, but I remember reading something that says both flesh and bone are produced simultaneously. So I still don't know if that's correct.
Common sense, you've got to have bones in order to cover the bones with flesh. You can't have flesh before the bones.
Common sense isn't common among people. So we've got to go with the scientific method. So you could say, I could say it's common sense to not follow the Quran, but you know, people follow it. So common sense isn't common. So that's why we've got to go down to the scientific method, right? So according to the scientific method, I'm guessing at some point, maybe Callum, you could pull it up on your computer to see the actual embryology process to see if it actually correlates with the Quranic interpretation of embryology.
All right, I'm actually going to try that right now. That'd be
I
quite
was gonna
good.
say I actually agree with Sarah on that one. Instead, when the Quran claims something, before we dispute it, we need to have something to dispute it with. So if it's incorrect, I'm sure we could find information to say that is incorrect.
All right. So I'm sharing my. Go ahead.
That's interesting for him to say that, because I'm guessing there would be nothing incorrect in the Quran according to a Muslim. So from my own experience with Muslims is that if you do find something incorrect, or you do point out something incorrect in the Quran, they go into some kind of mental acrobatics as to try and explain away the stuff that you just brought, which still doesn't make sense, but it comforts them, it seems. So, you know, even scientifically with the name, the first man being called Adam, I've already gone into this on a few of your videos, kind of that etymologically speaking, Adam could not have been the name of the first man, because the first man wasn't African and the name Adam was not in existence. So just by using not only common sense, but science, the etymology of language, the first man couldn't have been named Adam. However, most people from Abrahamic religions don't like to hear that argument. They will tell you, no, his name was Adam, and come with all kind of mental gymnastics as to how to explain away what I just said, which actually makes sense.
Yep.
All right. So let's go into this now. Hopefully I'm sharing my screen. I'm going to now quickly, first of all, before I do anything else, go back into what the Quran says. Then we made the sperm drop into a clinging clot, and we made the clot into a lump of flesh, and then we made from the lump bones, and we covered the bones with flesh. So hold on. We made the clot into a lump, parenthesis of flesh. So there's already flesh there by the parenthesis. And we made from the lump bones, and then bones, we covered the bones with flesh. It's interesting. Okay. Then we developed into another creation. All right, let's go into this now. So I've gone into a quick search via Google to do with embryology and embryological development. And let's see what it says. This page shows some key events of human development during the embryonic period of the first 8 weeks following fertilization. The period is also considered the organogenic period, when most organs within the embryo have begun to form. Okay, so we're now going into this. It shows us a nice chart of the development. Can I say exactly where the bones come into play and when the flesh now covers it? I can't. It just simply looks like there is flesh already. That's there. I can't tell, but what I will do is quickly just do a Google search. When are bones created in an embryo? Or when are bones formed in an embryo? That's the right terminology. Okay.
Or you could just Google Quranic embryology correct or incorrect. I don't know, something like that.
I'll do that in a minute. Let's be fair first. When bones are formed, embryology.
Wait. Gentlemen, just a quick question. Are we contemplating that flesh could come before bones? So you would have flesh and then bones? Is that what we're implying?
Let's just read this first and see what it says. The mesoderm forms nearly all the connective tissues of the musculoskeletal system, except within the head, where neural crests also contribute connective tissues. Each tissue, cartilage, bone, and muscles goes through many different mechanisms. Okay, let's see about the actual date. When does it form? Hmm. Hmm. Maybe this isn't the right one. Maybe it's not the right one. Maybe it's not the right one. Let me see. Let me try again. Nope. I've typed in embryology, but it's not coming up. So what I'll do is Quran and embryology. Okay, Quran and embryology. Let's see what pops up for that one.
The proof of that is the hole in your skull when you're a baby. That closes up.
So where exactly in here, Sarah, do you know where I should go?
I don't. I was just throwing a suggestion out there. If I'm totally honest.
Okay, so
Can I just say that this is literally equivalent to saying that you could have leaves before the branches of a tree. Equivalent to that. I mean, if you look at yourself right now, your skin is above your bones. So your skin covers your bones. I don't know why this is difficult, but if you could find a dispute, I'll gladly hear it.
all right, so I've gone here onto Wiki Islam, and it's got something here called the Embryology in the Quran. It says the main errors can be summarized. Let me just see. Yep, it's actually sharing still. Okay, the main errors can be summarized as follows, and are further discussed in the rest of this article. It says here, a number of verses collectively demonstrate a belief that the earliest nutfa stage of development is made of semen, perhaps mixed with a female fluid, which is placed in the womb for a known term, and where it undergoes various stages of development, as also taught by Galen and in the Jewish Talmud. See this article for the most comprehensive explanation and evidence. Furthermore, there is no sign that the author of the Quran was aware of the female egg, ovum. In reality, a single sperm cell penetrates and fuses with the female ovum. This fertilized egg, called a zygote, is then pushed down the fallopian tube for a few days. On the way, cell division begins, and this multicellular celled cluster, now called a blastocyte, implants in the uterus, the womb. Second, the embryo is then congealed. The embryo is then congealed blood. All the classical tafsirs understood the meaning of alaq to be blood or congealed blood, and clotted blood is a definition of the word in classical Arabic dictionaries. Regardless of alternative meanings for this Arabic word, it would be very foolish even to use a word whose main definition includes an explicit biological meaning, clotted blood. In a description of a biological process, embryology, if this meaning was not the one you intended, the choice of word now causes a well-justified suspicion of inaccuracy, and for centuries misled people into thinking that the embryology is at one stage congealed blood, and an actual embryo is at no point blood, or a clot of blood. Similarly, for the same reason, it would also be foolish to use the word while intending blood clot as a mere visual analogy. 3. Bones are formed before being clothed with flesh. In fact, cartilage models of the bones start to form at the same time as and in parallel with surrounding muscles, and this cartilage is literally replaced with bone. The author of the Quran imagined a sequence of stages which, when examined without the false definitions and arbitrary assumptions made by apologists, clearly has no resemblance to the actual development process of a child in the womb. Someone with modern scientific knowledge of embryology can instead marvel at the exquisite complexity that results from a process of coordinated cell differentiation and signaling encoded in our genetic instructions set by millions of years of evolution. So yeah, wow. Wow. So before anything, please, guys, who's out there watching this, please go on to wikiislam.net, wiki embryology underscore in underscore the underscore Quran, and actually read this article. Okay, this will be quite an interesting read, and to see what the different opinions and the different debates and the different points of contentions are. Okay, I'm not gonna go any further into this because this is very interesting. This is very interesting. Brother Ahmed, do you have anything to say upon this topic?
Yes, I thought we were, if we're going to dispute the claim of the Quran, I thought we would use a scientific, a neutral scientific argument against, which does not fit what the Quran is claiming. But Wiki Islam is not a credible source now, is it?
Okay, somebody here called Kofi Kessi Akhut sends us something which hopefully, please, everybody's out there, could you check the source and whether this is actually correct or not? For me, he sends me this, okay? It says week 15, baby skeletons develops bones. 15 weeks into your pregnancy or 13 weeks after conception, your baby is growing rapidly. Your baby skeleton is developing bones, which will become visible on ultrasound images in a few weeks. Your baby's scalp hair pattern also is forming. So yeah, please check that out. This is actually an article from mayoclinic.org. Health, lifestyle / pregnancy week by week, in-depth fetal development. Okay. Okay, so it gives us, okay, so we can go to a neutral source, which somebody has sent us over here.
Ouch. That's what I'm saying. Ouch.
Okay, and we are now in the second trimester. Fetal development takes on new meaning in the second trimester. Highlights might include finding out your baby's sex and feeling your baby move. This is by Mayo Clinic staff. As your pregnancy progresses, your baby might begin to seem more real. You might hear the heartbeat at your parental appointments, and your enlarging abdomen might force you to put away your favorite jeans. I'm going to skip real quickly. No, it says here 2 months ago, your baby was simply a cluster of cells. Now he or she has functioning organs, nerves, and muscles. Find out what happens during the second trimester by checking out this weekly calendar of events. Keep in mind the measurements are approximate. So you know what? I would love to actually share my screen so you just don't think I'm just talking. Because as I say, it's all about showing your sources and your evidence to back up your claim. It says here 13 weeks, urine forms 13 weeks into your pregnancy. It gives you that information there. And then the 14th week into your pregnancy or 12 weeks after conception, your baby's arm have almost reached the final relative lengths they'll be at birth, and your baby's neck has become more defined. Red blood cells are forming in your baby's spleen. Your baby's sex will become more apparent, etc., etc. Week number 15, baby's skeleton develops bones. 15 weeks into your pregnancy or 13 weeks after conception, your baby is growing rapidly. Your baby's skeleton is developing bones, which will become visible on ultrasound images in a few weeks. Your baby's scalp hair pattern also is forming. Okay, so that's what that is saying. And then when we go back again, let me just duplicate this so we can make sure that all the information is, as being read out. Ooh, come on.
Did I just hear skeleton is developing bones?
Yeah.
Isn't skeleton and bones the same thing?
I guess not.
Oh, so I guess it's as new to you as it is to me then.
So let's see. Do we have anything here that shows the process? I hate the fact that we're just doing this off the cuff, We should be much more, how can I put it? So at this point here, the 14th week, I believe it was the 14th week, was it? The bones are now being formed. Does anybody have anything to say on this? Sorry, week 15. Sorry, let me get the week 15. So it's week 15 here. The bones are now being formed in the skeletal system. And this is according to Mayo Clinic, pregnancy week by week. 15 weeks into your pregnancy, your baby is growing rapidly. Your baby's skeleton is developing bones, which will become visible on ultrasounds in a few weeks' time. So you guys tell me where you going with this now?
I'm not gonna. I'm a little bit confused as to whether it contradicts the Quran or it's with the Quran.
So we'll defer that to Brother Ahmed. Does it contradict the Quran or does it support the Quran? And thank you, Brother Kofi, for sending that to us. So yeah, Brother Ahmed, does it support the Quran or does it contradict the Quran?
To be honest with you, it was cutting off a little bit. I personally have I haven't heard anything that contradicts the Quran, and furthermore, having had this many a times. I mean, not myself, but this argument has been had for years and years, and really and truly, I haven't heard anybody contradict it. I'm surprised. I thought the panel had some sort of prior information, and no one has ever disputed it. I'm waiting for contradiction. I'm all open to find a contradiction, but till now I haven't found one.
Okay, so brothers, did you present any contradictions? Sarah, did you provide any contradictions?
Like I said, I'm not an embryologist. Like I said, the first thing you read from Wiki Islam seemed to say the Quran didn't quite get it right, if I'm correct. So if the Quran didn't quite get it right, then that's a contradiction, as far as I know.
Okay, so you know, some people, Brother Ahmed, may argue that human beings don't come from clay, number one. You know, and then the clay, number two, doesn't go into a sperm or transform into a sperm, and the sperm doesn't now transform into a clot of blood. It says at no point inside of in the embryology does sperm or an ovum, I would assume, turn into a clot of blood. So that is one of the major contradictions there, of blood and clot. Blood and semen. The next contradiction, I guess some people may also state, reading this, let me just make sure I'm correct, is that, you know, the bones, there is already flesh there when the bones are being formed. And there is not flesh that's being added to cover the bones. But the bones are already, there is already flesh covering the bones prior to the bones being formed. So therefore, they will see that as a contradiction. So those are the 3 points of contentions I can see so far. Do you have anything to say on that?
Is sperm not blood?
Sorry, could you repeat that again?
Is sperm not blood?
Is sperm not blood?
Yeah.
I will defer and ask somebody on the panel and in our comment section, is sperm not blood?
No, it's not blood.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's not blood, my brother?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. So you...
that's that. I mean, I'm not even going into esoterical or what I would say is right knowledge. We just deal with the facts. You know, you have to deal with the science of it. You know, if there's no point in the Quran that they're talking about an embryo, the different forms of the embryo, and inside the embryo as it's forming, as we know, just having a basic English education or going to school, do you get what I'm saying? You're taught this. I don't understand. Do you get what I'm saying? Sex education is like 8 years old now. Do you get what I'm saying? They have the science down pat. So I don't know why we can be sitting here pretending like, oh, are we sure that the Quran was 100% wrong? You know what I'm saying? It was 100% wrong in its information. What are you talking about? Sperm is not blood. 1, 2. That you can't have a skeleton and then cover it with flesh and organs and what do they call it, your nervous system and all them type of things. Like, how are you going to explain all of these things? These things are not explained in the Quran. This is what I'm trying to say to you, bro. It's just a religious, do you know what I'm saying, interpolation of a creation story that they don't understand the science in it. It came from scientists. You call them priests, do you know what I'm saying? In some respects, we say scientists. Do you know what I'm saying? So these scientists were doing scientific experiments. You don't know how to clot, to make blood by mixing the earth and the soil, that things are contained within the soil other than raw elements and so and so. Maybe the previous beings that died and thing on the planet. That's how you're going to form a new being if you grab soil from 4 different parts of the world, or, you know, in the Bible, but in the Quran, it's, yeah, you just grab from the soil. Do you get what I'm saying? It's a misunderstanding of information that has long been there.
Real quickly, my brother, I'm just hearing something here. Somebody said that I would be very scared for anybody if they are now ejaculating blood from their penis. So I don't know.
Sorry.
It's actually there's actually a name for it.
Oh, is there a name? Is there a name?
Yes, yes, there's a name for
What's
it.
that?
So, and I will get it for you. 1 second.
You got something. And it ain't good.
It's called hematospermia. Hematospermia.
Hematospermia.
Yes, when there's blood in your semen. It's caused by tumors and infections and abnormalities.
Wow.
So to ask if sperm is blood, to me, like I said earlier on in the conversation, is one of those mental acrobatic, exercises that a lot of people go through once they realize that their stuff isn't making sense. And so they seem to add more nonsense to the nonsense, if that makes sense, to try and make sense out of the nonsense. So they give you more nonsense and they ask questions, and they know it doesn't make sense. I'm sure this brother knows sperm, not blood. He knows that. But he had to ask that question to try and make sense out of the nonsense. And so what that was a diversion tactic, right? To try and get you to look elsewhere and ask another question and go somewhere else. And this is what religious people do, bro. Like, they know they're wrong, so then they ask a question to try and divert you from finding out that they're wrong. And it's a cycle that we go through over and over again. Like I said, at some point we got to stop the BS, bro. We just really got to stop it.
Guys, I think we've been on here for like just over half an hour at least. We started with this topic for half an hour ago. At the end of the day, there's a lot of cognitive dissonance in display here. You might even suggest that I may be displaying that myself. I will let Quran do the talking, and if the Quran contradicts the science, why not let science do the talking instead of us? How about that? Wrong scientifically, just get that from a scientific source and not Wiki Islam and not people who hold different positions, because we're not going to get anywhere with that.
Can I just say something to that? Brother, didn't you say in the beginning that the Quran is not a scientific book? Or am I misquoting you?
No, you're correct. I did not. I did say the Quran is not a scientific book. The Quran is a book from God. It's a book of science, and it contains scientific facts. The reason I said it's not a scientific book is simply because the book is not purely for science only.
But what we've had here in the last half an hour is the Quran trying to explain science. This is what we're trying to say and getting it wrong.
If it's getting it wrong, rather than you saying it's getting it wrong, produce your evidence.
Produce your evidence. I'm here. What do you mean produce my evidence? I'm here. I'm a creation of my parents, and I know how that happened.
Sorry, which particular sentence, verse of the Quran is wrong, according to you?
Come on, bro. Stop dancing.
Look, I'm trying to look. I'm genuinely trying to understand where it's wrong. Okay. Instead of just throwing out it's wrong, it's wrong, it's wrong.
No. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. Bro. I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying to you is you made a disclaimer at the beginning saying it is not a scientific book. Now you're saying it contains science, which can't be proven. Do you know what I'm saying? Which can't be proven, and if it is proven, it's been filibustered. Do you know what I'm saying? To say that, look, bones don't just get skin on them, and you know, that's like some reanimation type movie. You know what I'm saying? We got special effects that can do that, yeah. But to ask us to go into realms of imagination and imagine that, you know, we were just on the ground, a skeleton, and then eyes popped in, and then, you know, flesh came above. I saw that in a movie once, but that's not the reality. You know what I'm saying? The reality is that our parents created us. This is why some of us wear ankhs. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the key of life. Do you know what I'm saying? You religious zealots might think it's something else. You know, oh, is that a cross or that? You know, no, it's the womb, fallopian tubes, and phallus. Come on, create life. So we got the science of that down pat, just in a symbol. Do you understand? So what we're trying to say to you, we're not saying the Quran is wrong. It's people's interpolation. And even the people who wrote the Quran, yeah, it's their interpolation of older information. We can't disagree that the information has not been here for eons. It's not nothing new they're saying in the Quran. The characters are not new. They're not special or separate from the Bible or the Torah. So we have to assume that it's one and the same information. It's just that the Quran is the updated version for that time, as you said, 1400 years ago. 1400 years ago, they did not know about blood clotting, genetic splicing, you know what I'm saying? The embryo, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, they didn't have CAT scan or none of that type of thing, you know what I mean? So, you know, we just got to be realistic with it. We are in now time, and religion asks us to go back 1400 years, which is kind of, you know, a bit.
Islam first and foremost does not claim to be exclusive. It does not separate itself from the Torah or the Gospel of Jesus.
Okay.
So whether in the Quran that you can find in other books, we dispute. So okay. I'm not sure where the battle is in that.
No, because it's the creation story. What we're talking about is the creation story. Every aspect of your free religions or your monotheistic religions have a creation story, and you're saying in your creation story that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took the mud from the ground, you know what I'm saying, placed sperm in it, made a skeleton, made a clock, made a skeleton, you know what I'm saying, and it doesn't go with the science, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't even go with the natural nature, is what I'm trying to explain to you.
All right, my brother. Okay. Real quickly, everybody who's tuning right now, please give us a big thumbs up. Let us know that you're loving the information. Hit the like button, okay? I'm not even continuing until I see those likes, yeah? Literally multiply right about now. All right? We're on 25 likes, yeah? Please hit the like buttons. I'm seeing it going up. You keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting the like button. We've got over 125 people, 130 people tuned in. All right, just seen it jump from 25 likes to 30 likes. All right, keep liking it, yeah? I want to see more likes. Let me know that you're enjoying the show so far. And if you're a hater, like, see you later. I don't want to see, I don't know why you're not enjoying the show for. Like, you know, there's just a few people that just here that watches Titans TV, yeah, to hate, to give us dislikes and to report the channel, etc., etc. Like, right, if you are a hater, like, why are you here, fam? Like, surely you must have other things better to do with your life than watching us discuss, pertinent information that's affecting our communities. Like, go away, man. Get out of here, please. I've just seen it just jump from 25 likes to we're on 42 likes, yeah, 43 likes. Keep on going, keep on going, keep on hitting the like button, family. I want to see that support. I want to see that love. I want to know that you are actually here to support us. You like the information. We're going into some stuff that unfortunately we don't usually get the time to have these types of conversations with other individuals. So it's beautiful to have my Muslim brother up here, teaching about the Quran, teaching about the miracles and the science in the Quran. And we got other brothers from different parts of the world, of America, from the UK, South London, North London, discussing these particular points. So this is real good. I love this. I absolutely love this. Let me see. Yeah, imagine if I was getting £1 for every someone says Cam's getting £1 for every like. That's lunch tomorrow, bro. If I was getting £1 for every like, hey, I would be laughing. Hey, listen, but regardless, yeah, hit the like button, show your support. That's real love, man. That's nice. Let me just read out some of your comments out here. Let's see. Stop talking about sperm and clay. Let me go into this. There's some real ignorance.
I gotta agree with that commentator. I really don't see the connection with the sperm and clay. I mean, the first man was made by clay. The rest of us came from sperm. So I don't see the connection that we're making.
I hear you.
I got to admit, these are the sort of things that puts a lot of faith for us Muslims in the Quran. The fact that we've been talking now for nearly an hour, and there's been lots of disputes, but nothing solid. It shouldn't be that difficult. If the claim that the Quran is making is wrong, it really shouldn't be that difficult to dispute it. It shouldn't. Over.
Seriously, have you even heard what's been said? No, but seriously though, because there have been disputes. There actually have been disputes. Kalam read out a big dispute. He named the 3 contentions as to why it contradicts the Quran. But you just said it shouldn't be this hard. We've already named them. Kalam named them. But you're acting like you never heard it. And when you were talking about cognitive dissonance, it's a real problem. It's a real problem amongst religious people. Cognitive dissonance and total denial of information that comes to you is a real problem. And so, like I said, there comes a time you've got to stop the BS. There does come a time. And it's either you want to learn something or you don't.
I absolutely respect Kalam's knowledge. However, Kalam is not a scientific. Every single thing he says is not a scientific fact. That is his own personal disputes. If Islam, the claim that Islam is making is factually incorrect, we need factual information to say so, not a bunch of dudes.
All right. Anyway, I've had conversations with you personally, so I know you're a stubborn dude anyway, so it's all right. It's cool. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. Someone here says, Mega True Talk says, quotes, Surah 86, verse 7. Quran says, sperm comes from between the backbone and the rib. Brother Ahmed, does sperm come from between the backbone and the rib? I guess. Okay.
Does it say sperm? Does it say sperm?
Okay, it says a gushing fluid.
Gushing fluid. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Now ask me the question again.
So, does gushing fluid come in between the backbone and the rib? And could you explain what this gushing fluid is to our audience members who have no knowledge of this?
All right. First of all, the gushing fluid is referring to a fluid from a woman and a man, mainly a woman. Secondly, the backbone is a wrong translation. The Arabic word raib is referring to a female. One minute. What's wrong? It's a little fly on the phone.
So I respect this, brother. For those people who have seen this particular question being asked, this is actually on Titans TV itself, where we have our African Christian going against Brother Mansour. And Brother Mansour gives a completely different breakdown to this. He actually gives two different breakdowns, to be honest with you, which is completely different to what Brother Ahmed is about to go into. I got to give my respect to Brother Ahmed because he keeps it really true to the tafsirs that's written. So these are the exegesis explaining those particular verses. So I give it to you. You know, unlike other brothers who go far west or far south into other ways of explaining away this text, you keep to what the early Muslims actually state. So this is going to be really interesting to hear what you have to say.
Oh, my mic is still on. Right. The gushing fluid is basically referring to the fluid of a female and not necessarily a male. And the second thing of the backbone is a wrong translation. The word used is taraib, and it's referring to a female anatomy, and it's referring to the closer translation would be loins and not backbone.
So are you saying tarib is backbones or loins?
I need to double check that. I don't want to give any wrong information,
Yes.
but I'm gonna double check that. Give me a minute.
I'm gonna help you as a Muslim right now. I help you. The word that you are looking for is the word sulb. Sulb.
That's correct. Sulb is what I'm looking for. The point is, it's referring to the female body first of all, and it's basically referring to a baby coming from the stomach or the in between the liver and loins, if I'm correct. Female body, and it's referring to a baby and not a sperm. To cut the long story short, basically.
So you're saying that this gushing forth of fluid is talking about a baby, and is talking about
not the gushing fluid.
Okay,
the gushing fluid is referring to a female fluid, and the location that where it says man comes from is referring to the female body.
Okay, so this gushing fluid is talking about a woman. And where is this gushing fluid coming from the woman?
The ovaries.
So what words in there states ovaries?
One minute. I need to come back. Give me a second. 1 minute.
Okay, I'll give you that minute, definitely.
I beg when you come back, it makes sense.
Yeah.
I beg. Because
Bro. I'll let you go, Sarah, man.
Let me tell you something.
I don't even know where to start. It's gonna get messy.
Bro, do you know how messy this is, bro?
Yeah. We're gonna have to carry Kalam, you're gonna have to carry him out, you know, of the gladiator arena, you know how it goes. Like,
let me tell you something.
He ain't Maximus right now.
Because Mansour, okay, I've had a conversation with Mansour. Sorry, Gary had a conversation with Mansour about this. He did not mention the female. I've had countless conversations with other Muslims. They don't mention this is from the female. So now what we have, like I said before, when you get vague, you can just make up anything, bro. Like when things are vague, You'll hear one thing from one Muslim, another thing from another Muslim, and both of them will stand in your face and talk to you like they're correct. Yeah. And so you're on, but you say to them, oh, hang on a minute, but I spoke to another Muslim that said the total opposite to you. And they'd say, well, I don't know what that Muslim said to you, and I don't know who they are, but this is what I know. And it's like, well, if there's not a general consensus, how are you even speaking? Like,
exactly.
The scientific world generally have a general consensus on something, generally.
Yep.
And then they go out and they say, this is the general consensus.
That's
but
right.
It seems that with Islam, it is purposely vague. It seems like this is a purposefully done thing. So then if, depending on which Muslim you're speaking to, they can say something different and sound like they're intelligent, right? And then you speak to someone else and they sound like they're intelligent too. But when you put them in a room together and say, hang on, you guys both said something different, can you both explain what you're talking about? Now, and I'm telling you, I've done it. And they start to act like they don't want what other one's talking about, and they don't want to disagree amongst one another. So I don't know if this is a thing in Islam where you're not allowed to disagree with another Muslim publicly, But when you put two Muslims together that just disagree with you personally, and you put them together publicly, they don't disagree. They say, "Oh, okay, brother. Well, let's speak about that." It's like, come on, man. Like, seriously, like this just seems like some kind of game that's been run. Like, I'm not gonna. Sorry, just to go on a little rant. I'm not gonna. Everyone's. I say everyone, but a lot of people grow up in the street, and you know when a game's getting run on you. This is a game that people have been running for a very long time. If my man says something, he says something different, then he says something different, but they both claim to be from the same camp. You got to step back and be like, yo, what's going on? Because they're not really agreeing that. Someone's running the game. And then they go and they say, hey, tell my man this. Hey, tell my man that. It comes to a point where you can't trust people. It comes to a point where you can't trust what someone's saying because of the vagueness of what's going on. Now, Ahmed, I'm not saying you're distrustful. I'm not saying you're untrustworthy. I'm saying if you seriously believe what you're saying is the truth, why is it that so many of your other Muslim people do not say what you say?
Right, I'm back now. Sorry, as you can understand, I was in the car. I was busy. Now I'm seated. Where were we? Now, first of all, no Muslim. There is no dispute that this particular verse refers to the female body within the Muslim community. I mean, if you can Google this, you can YouTube this. This question has been asked over and over again, given over and over again. Anyways, and the secondly, what you guys are presenting is a translation. You have to remember that. What the Quran came in is in Arabic. So if we're going to talk about what the Quran is claiming, then we have to talk about what it says in Arabic and not in English. You guys' position is literally the translation right now. So I'm trying to give you the meaning of the Arabic word that is in the Quran. So you're not at a position of strength. So to call someone ambiguous and all of that doesn't really fly. Want a answer this particular thing means, I can give it to you quite quickly right now. Now, hello? The phrase matafiq, emitted fluid, is not restricted in meaning to sperm, but is used in Arabic for both the sperm and the egg. Ibn Kathir in his commentary on this verse writes, it emanates from the man and the woman, and with Allah's permission, the child comes forth as a product of both. The word translated as backbone, sulb, and ribs, tara'ib, are not understood in Arabic to belong to the same person. Arabs understand the sulb to refer to a part of the male body and the tara'ib to a part of the female. It refers to the sulb of the man and the tara'ib of the woman. Just want to make sure you guys have heard me.
Oh yeah, we heard you loud and clear.
May I continue that?
Yeah. Oh, just by the way, just to remind you that fluid, sperm, no blood. All right? There's no blood being mentioned in the Quran or anywhere else at the moment. So the sperm and the blood thing, you see what I'm saying? That's interpolation. That was your interpretation of what you thought the information was. Do you get what I'm saying? This is why we don't say the Quran is wrong. We say that the people studying it are not wrong, but they're not studying very well. Do you get what I'm saying? One, there's a language barrier. Yeah, there's a language barrier. I mean, if Arabic is your first language, then yeah, you should have no problems. Do you get what I'm saying? But for most people, Arabic is not their first language.
So this topic becomes quite difficult.
No,
if we're going to dispute the Quran.
We study language. It's the root of language in all different languages. We know where they come from. We know what is what and where is where, and what were spoken languages and became non-existent and were rebirthed into existence into modern day. So we know all the different languages, yeah, you know, and we know that Arabic is not an ancient language. Let's get that straight. Do you get what I'm saying?
You say Arabic is not an ancient language?
It is not an ancient language, no.
Okay. I'm not disputing.
One, it's the language of trade for us Africans. It's an African language, one. Yes, that is correct, but as well as Hebrew, you get what I'm saying? But these are languages of trade. I mean, if I couldn't speak to you in my native Yoruba tongue, do you get what I'm saying? And you speak your, your language.
Somali. I speak Somali. I don't speak Arabic.
Okay, speak Somali. So, and if we couldn't communicate, then we would have to drop to Arabic. That's just in the African diaspora. You get what I'm saying? But obviously, we study the root of language. So when you're giving us explanation of the words, do you get what I'm saying? I mean, we still stumbling at the we. We back at the we still. I still need an explanation for the we. Because that royal we and all that, I'm still confused about. Do you get what I'm saying? You're going to have to explain that. You know what I mean? That is not the fault of the Quran. You see what I'm saying? But what is at fault in the Quran is not a fault. It's just a time period. It's 1400 years ago. You compare 1400 years ago to today, you know, you have to update that information. And the fact that it's got flaws is what you're concerned about. Because that relates to faith and religion. And belief, sorry. And things we're not personally entertaining, you know. We deal with sound right reasoning and, you know, the facts. And proper conclusions that everybody agrees on. You get what I'm saying? And people don't agree. And as you said in the beginning, it is not a scientific book. So there is no discussion, really. You know, it's like a fantasy book in a sense. Do you get what I'm saying? Or a basic childhood book, you know? It's 1400 years ago. The Bedouins of that time, I understand if they started to write when they weren't writing before. It was an oral language. You know that. You know what I'm saying? It was oral before it was written. And I ask again, who wrote the Quran?
Men, scribes.
You know what I'm saying? So men and scribes wrote the Quran. So did Muhammad have a hand in writing it?
He relayed the verses to them and they wrote it down.
Okay, and who were the verses relayed from?
From Angel Gabriel.
Okay. You know, because I hear a lot of people saying, oh, yeah, well, these are the words of God. But these are the words of Allah. Hold on one second. One second.
Angel, no, I have to stop you there. Angel Gabriel only brings his words from God. So it is from God. An
angel is an angel at the end of the day. Yeah, do you get what I'm saying? People misinterpret the words. I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying when they act like it was God in the cave with Muhammad. Not that it was the angel Gabriel. I agree with you that you are correct. You know what I'm saying? The angel Gabriel is the messenger.
Any Muslim claim that God is in the cave.
Yeah?
No Muslim would ever claim that God
but they say Allah wrote the Quran. So in that claim, you're saying that.
The Quran is from Allah. The reason I said
It's
to you that it
from.
was
I'm glad you said that it's from, but it came via Gabriel. So
Angel Gabriel.
we have to
Yes.
give Angel Gabriel his respect. Do you get what I'm saying? And all Angel
If
Gabriel was relaying,
that's provide.
hold on, wait, is information that was already out. So what we have to
But
check.
no, we don't dispute
No,
that.
so we don't. Yeah, thank you. So if you don't dispute that, you can see that it perfectly correlates with the Bible, and it perfectly correlates with the Torah. Do you get what I'm saying? So
It's
knowing
supposed
that
to.
the angel Gabriel must have known about the Bible or the Torah. Do you get what I'm saying? Which he would have, because it was only 1,500 years ago, and those books well and existed. Do you get what I'm saying?
There's no dispute there.
So my point is,
Can I just add one
what
thing?
is the real revelation if the information was already out?
Well, you see, as Muslims, Islam, we basically say that God has sent revelations and scriptures before the Quran. The Psalms, Abraham's scroll, the Bible, Jesus' gospel, and then the Quran. They're all from the same source. So do they have many things that match? Absolutely. Since they came from the same source, they do. The only difference that we would claim, and no offense to anyone from any other religion, is that all other religions have been tampered with, and therefore the Quran came as a last testament, but not as a something different from the revelations before.
Okay, I agree in part. Let's agree to disagree on that. Now my point is, if you say that, then you're saying you're agreeing that the Quran, the Torah, and the Bible are more or less one and the same book, but the other two have been tampered with. Now I say to you,
correct.
Yeah, if the revelation came from Gabriel, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yeah, to Gabriel, to Muhammad, to a bunch of guys who are going to write it down, do you get what I'm saying? 200 years after the death of Muhammad, do you get what I'm saying? There is going to be flaws in it. There's going to be flaws in it. So
wait, stop. 200 years after what?
After the death of Muhammad.
The Quran,
the Quran is not written in the time of Muhammad. Show me it in the Quran.
The Quran was memorized in the time of Muhammad, and much of it was also written in the time of Muhammad. However, the Quran that we hold today is literally what, 20 years after the Prophet died, peace be upon him. So it's not 200 years; it's 20 years at most.
You need to check that.
Yes, you definitely do.
No. I'm saying the earliest copy of the Quran is what we're going to go to. You know what I mean? I'm sure Kalam can check that out. You know what I'm saying? Which is the earliest publication of the Quran. Do you get what I'm saying? And it won't match up with Muhammad.
Would you be curious if it's only 20 years after the Prophet's death?
No. It still adds doubt. There's an element of doubt there, because there's an element of people being able to interpret things the way they want. Do you get what I'm saying? You're saying that people memorized it. Do you get what I'm saying? And then wrote it down. We know about Chinese whispers. Do you get what I'm saying? Things can happen.
You're right.
So to say that the Quran is also not tampered would be kind of inconsistent. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that the information.
Let me give you a response.
Yes, sorry.
No. That's a very good one that you relayed. But this is one of the impressive things about the Quran and the Hadiths. It's the fact that the Quran is not taken from one source, nor are the Hadiths taken from one source. Different sources are relaying the same information. That is what gives it strength. Do you see what I mean?
Okay.
If everybody is saying the same thing, and they're not at the same place, it gives it strength. It's not your typical Chinese whispers. It's
Yeah.
like if you go to court. It's like if you go to court and all of our stories match up and we've had no contact with each other.
Mhm.
It will hold weight, will it not?
Sorry, say again.
If we went to court,
Mhm.
all of our stories match up and we didn't have any contact with each other, it would hold weight, will it not?
I suppose, yeah. In one, yeah. You would be correct in that, I suppose, yeah.
That is exactly how the Quran and the Hadith works.
Okay. Now, what we're taught in the school I was from is author and authorization with anything. Check author and authorization, whether you're reading a book or a novel of blah, 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 you're watching a cartoon or a movie, you must check author and authorization for the simple fact, if the person is a Satanist, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. They're going to have relevant things in their movies, their cartoons, or, you know, it kind of affects their, you know, your view on them. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say author and authorization. So my point is, the author, you get what I'm saying, who is supposedly supposed to be Muhammad, is not the author. Then there's a problem.
We first of all, we don't claim that Muhammad is the author of the Quran. The author of the Quran is God himself. Secondly, what would be your criteria in deciding whether this, at the end of the day, this book claims to come from God? What would be your criteria in deciding whether that claim would be correct or not? That would be the more valid approach.
Yes, sorry.
Brothers?
Yes, brother.
Brothers, can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep, you can hear me. Yep, excellent. Unfortunately, we've run out of time at present. It's been a real interesting show so far, and hopefully we can, you know, do some more shows like this. Hopefully tomorrow we can put on another show and go into some more details. But as it stands, we've actually reached way past the end of the show. This is only supposed to be an hour long, and we've already gone over, you know, close enough to a 2-hour mark already. So unfortunately, we're going to have to close the show down. And I'm going to thank everybody who's been tuned in so far to talk with the Titans, Titans TV. You know, it's been absolutely awesome. We've had Aoife, 9 Aoife boys in the studio with us. We've had Brother Ahmed, our Somali Muslim, T.415. I didn't even get to hear you talk as much as I wanted you to talk. And of course, we've had our Brother Sarah as well in the studio. Real quick. Okay, real quickly, let me see if I can actually read out some of your guys' comments before we close it out. I know you lot want more, but I can't do more, man. Seriously. Anthony Browder will be in on Friday at 9 p.m. GMT or 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's what's going on. Peace to Nature TV. From Speaker's Corner. The pen is the author. The Kalam is the author. Kalam, I beg you quiz this Somalian brother. Next time round, man, my Somalian brother will get it in with us. So a lot of you lot guys are going in. I can tell you guys have been watching some David Wood out
You
here.
lot call me off guard complete. Listen up.
I apologize, my brother.
At the end of the day, let's bear one thing in mind, that none of the claims of the Quran has been factually disputed, and we've been on this show for more than an hour, and that is even with me performing atrociously. The Quran stood ground.
Hey, can I just say real quick, bro? Hey, it needs to be about the people and not about a book. You can catch me on Truthfully Honest show with Chief Holiday and other people. You can also subscribe to me, T-Duck415. And like I said, it's been an honor rocking with my UK family. And I appreciate everybody's perspective and realize that it's all love. And until we figure that out, if we're going to let these books predicate who we are and what we're going to do, because ain't nobody can defend a book better than God can if it's from God. Let's just keep it simple.
Yeah, here we go.
Can I just say to that, I personally make errors. I wouldn't claim to be very knowledgeable. If I'm going to discuss Islam, I will let the book do the talking. So, I mean, this idea of let people do the talking works with other things, but with Islam, it's not about the person, it's about the book for us.
All right. So with that being said, thank everybody for tuning so far. Please hit the share button, man. Go down below, hit the share button. You know, get everybody else to tune into this particular show. I think it's been an excellent show. You know, we've had some great, you know, opinions, voices, source materials being read out as well. So please share this with your community. Somalian community, stand up. Muslim community, stand up. Nuwapians, finally, we have a Nuwapian brother on here. You know, standing up for Nuwabianism, and hopefully we can get you in the firing line soon enough. See what our Muslims and Christians and other people in the conscious community has to say about Nuwapu.
Kalam, can I ask my Nuwapian brother something?
You know, we're closing out, man. We're closing out.
It's quick.
Go on, real quickly.
Yes,
It's quick.
yeah.
What happened? You man not Muslim anymore?
Huh?
You man not Muslim anymore?
Yeah, we're always Muslim, man. We just don't follow Islam.
But you, oh, okay.
Muslim
But
is
you
your birthright, bro.
You started off following Islam, though.
No, Muslim is your birthright, bro. We are.
You know what I'm saying?
We are peaceful.
Mate, I'm saying, do you follow the Quran? You used to, if I remember correct.
We have a correct translation of the Quran. Yeah.
Do you still have that translation of the Quran?
Yeah. Most.
Or did you get?
That was Quran. Yes, we do. I have El's Torah. I have El's Injil. I have the holy tablets. I have all the books, the gold book, the black book, anything you want. You know what I'm saying in terms of book, but we don't deal with books. As I said, I've passed student stage. I'm a master in my field. So you know, we went through all those schools of thought to immerse and emerge. Do you know what I'm saying? So some of us had to dress in the garbs, and we were Ansar Allahs. Do you get what I'm saying? So you know, it's not far from our heart, but we just have a correct interpretation of the information. That's all.
Thanks for the reply, my friend.
No problem.
All right. Cool. All right, so I'm going to be signing out now. So it's the same, man. Hit the share button, hit the like button. T.415. I see you, my brother. Love, man. That's enough love for coming through, passing through. Everybody else, yeah, man, share it. Kaba and Empty Ankt. Share the love. Nature TV, share the love. There's some other individuals in here that has some very skewed understandings, man. I'm just reading some of your comments. Like you guys are crazy. You know, show some love, man. My Somali Muslim brother done his thing, you know. Peace, family. Kalam, good show. I see you. I'm reading it. Hotep, love you, the UK. I'm reading all the comments. Peace and love to you, brother Kalam. I love the sun. All sorts, man. All sorts is going on, but I've got to sign out, man. I'm sorry. Peace and love to you guys. I'll see you again soon.